Happy Saturday. How you doing? Well, anyone that paid to watch that fight got robbed. It was a joke. It was a joke. Uh, Watching Sports Center a few minutes ago. Wanted to check on some scores for something, and it's the highest gate ever in boxing history. Both made a ton of money. That's what it was about. It's a meaningless fight. Uh, there were some glitches. The sound kept cutting out at times with Netflix, their broadcast of it streaming. At times it froze up and it buffered. Then again, maybe it was fine. We went through a lot of Uncle Brian with this. Maybe it was our mind that was buffering a little bit and couldn't hear momentarily. uh, anyway, yeah, it was a fun night hanging out. And anyway, well, it happened again. Uncle Brian was wrong again. Jabba proved me wrong again, and he's happy as a pig and shit. You know. Yeah, his house, he sold it. When I talked about it, it's the 15th. Now it's moved up suddenly now. It did close on the 15th after all, even though he said that it wasn't because whatever. Like I say, Jabba, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Do I look upset that I'm wrong? Didn't affect me, but like I say, you know, the more you talk, the more you talk. And your stories change constantly. Hey, did you get that $180,000 you said you were going to get after you paid off the balance of your mortgage and all your other debts? That's what you said in the beginning. Oh, by the way, you might want to contact Zillow. I'll contact the bank and tell them, man, they really got to. The funny thing is, I just showed this the other day, $298. Now it's down to $281. Price keeps coming down. You might have a good lawsuit here. You know, they're making you look bad. They're slandering you, showing your house still in a pre-foreclosure proceeding for an auction for a full foreclosure when you sold it. That's damaging to your reputation, to your character. If I were you, I'd do something about that. So I guess you're not going to buy. Yeah, he's riding around on his little scooter in Walmart all happy. Yeah. He's happy that he made Brian Cabral wrong. I'm glad you're happy, Jabba. I really am. But I got a few questions for you. He said he's not going to buy that trailer park home after all. He's got his real estate lady looking for an apartment for him that's got, you know, pretty cheap rent. He might get an apartment. Where are you going to put all that shit? You got in storage and in a pod. And then he's saying he's going to buy a motorhome and travel around. Then he put up on his community pictures of a nice motorhome, a 27-footer, but it's like 24 years old. Those things, the people that use them just for a campsite, they're parked most of the time. Yeah, you know, do a lot of traveling in them. They can be expensive to maintain. You know, I'm just saying. Guy around here's got one. It's a Dolphin. I never heard of that. I've heard of Winnebago. This fucking thing is big. It's a bus. You know, like a Greyhound bus. It's a bus conversion. What I understand, the guy's fucking loaded with money. He owns a commercial fishing vessel. He's, you know, I don't know. That thing costs him a ton of money. Most of the time, it's parked in his fucking house. You don't even, whatever. Some people just have money to blow and they buy it and it looks good. Eye candy for the neighbors and they really don't use it. You know, whatever. It's his money, man. Let him. You know. Hey, that'll work out great for you, Jabba. Traveling around the country. See the Chevrolet, you know, see the USA in a Chevrolet, you know. You can go live in front of the Grand Canyon, at the Grand Canyon. You can go live in front of Mount Rushmore. That'll work out great for you. Go up and down the hills of San Francisco, you know. What are you going to do with the Bel Air? Going to get a tow bar, tow dolly? Hey, did you get your disability yet? How about that teacher's pension? When you were a janitor for the school department for all those years, cleaning toilets, sweeping floors, and picking up trash outside on the grass in parking lot. You got all that money rolling in? Did you get that $190,000 you said you were going to clear after you sold the house? And now you're trying to live on the cheap. Wouldn't you rather just buy a house? You know, trailer home? You should have. I guess you're not going to buy that Corvette either, right? You're going to have a hard enough time trying to tow that fucking 57 behind that, 27-foot motorhome. That thing's kind of small inside. You sure you're going to be able to fit through there walking around there? Where are you going to put all that shit in the part? You're going to pay a rental storage fee on that, don't you? From what I understand, the size you got can run anywhere from $300 to $500 a month, more towards $500 than towards $300. I'm only asking questions in case you haven't thought about these things. Where are you going to put all that stuff? You know, if I want to be real facetious, I could say, well, who's to say that you didn't have to leave? And the auction is upcoming. That's why they had to get the place all cleared out. So when people come, they want to be able to go through the place and none of your stuff is in there. All your shit's out of the yard. Where's your Bel Air? Or they're going to let you keep your Bel Air on the property? Yeah, if somebody bought it, they're going to let you keep your shit in the yard? Is that what you're going to say next? What about the Jeep? A lot of whatabouts. This is called how people live their life. They have to think about things. They have to plan things, coordinate things, so they don't run into problems. How far are you thinking ahead now? Where you're going to put things, how you're going to fit it, what you're going to do. How long are you going to be staying in that hotel room? Yeah, he said he's going to be he's going to have one extended stay overnight. So the house is completely cleaned out. Are you going to sleep on the floor? On a hard floor? Or are you going to sleep in the Jeep in the driveway? And then you're going to go to a hotel room until you figure out what you're going to do. When your real estate lady finds you an apartment, don't you ever do anything for yourself? Even then, I mean, somebody's going to move, whether, you know, they're going to look for a place. You're going to go online, look for apartments in your area. You don't do a fucking thing. You want everybody to do everything for you. If that's the case, if this real estate lady is a real estate lady, you know. Anyway. Yeah, folks, I'm wrong again. Boo fucking who. I feel so bad. I'm so ashamed. I hope my family and friends don't find out. I won't be able to show my face in public. But like I say, Java, this is what you're saying. I'm taking you at your word once again. You know, that's what you're saying as of yesterday. Now we see what you're saying come next Friday. And the Friday after that, where you're living, what's going on. Any unexpected problem that popped up that prevented all your plans of doing what you say you're going to do. You know, time waits for no one. Can't speak for everyone, but, you know, have patience, you know, see what happens. See where you're living a week from now if you're still in a hotel room because your real estate agent can't find you an apartment with cheap rent. Or, gee, I was going to buy that motorhome for $20-something thousand, but, you know, it was sold. Now you got to find another one. That'll take you a few more months, you know. To get your disability, by the way, I meant to ask. I know you were still, over the last, 8 months, you had it, then you didn't have it, then you had it, then you didn't have it, then you had it, then you didn't have it, like I say, you know. Anyway, what are you going to do with the Jeep? With a motorhome? What are you going to do with that motorhome? You can't just go to Walmart and leave it in the parking lot, or a senior center, leave it in the parking lot and just live there. You're going to need electric. You're going to need a water hookup. Do any campsites around that you can rent a site year-round? I know some trailer parks that have available space. They have hookups for RVs, you know. You're going to look into that maybe? You know, they're going to be living in it. You're going to be constantly driving around, looking for truck stops on the interstate to pull over and sleep for the night. How's that going to work out for you? Just a little food for thought here, Java. Just a little food for thought. But yeah, that was funny. Go watch the video. He's so happy because he proved me wrong. Well, am I wrong? If I am, fine. I can live with it. Like I said, I can live with it. I can deal with it, you know. We'll just see where it goes from here on your end, Java. What changes? How much more of your life you keep putting out that seems to change. I'm not making it change. You know, every time you open your mouth, things change. They have so far. So one could assume that it'll continue to keep changing. And what you're saying next week will be diametrically opposed to what you said yesterday, in a whole new set of circumstances. And, but seriously, you want to talk to your bank and say, hey man, you got to take down that foreclosure auction. Why do you keep changing the price on my house that I already sold? Why are you doing that to me? You're making me look bad. You're contradicting what I'm saying. I want to prove that Brian Cabral wrong, goddammit, and you're making it very difficult for me. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Have fun and stay safe.